like if we're having a first date and she's nagging me about like the location we're going, she's like, oh, this is not my kind of place. Like I like to go more fancy places. Well, I mean, for me, if you want to go to a fancy place, then you got to show up for our first date. We have to have a good bond with one another before we can do something super fancy the first date, right? Okay. So planning, for example, could be one. If let's say let's just say she's also somebody who is, because naturally like women have been serving their men, right? And servitude is not just something where you're a slave and you have no rights and you have no, way to say anything and speak up. Because there's men out there who are leaders, but are bad leaders. So if he's a bad leader, she should speak up and say something that, hey, I'm not gonna do what you're asking me to do because I don't feel inclined, because you don't make me feel comfortable and safe as a woman to be your follower, right? Because they're leaders and they're followers, right? So if that's the problem with like the red pill as well, is that there are men who take this red pill advice and they're not mentally secure up here. So then they will use the knowledge that they get from the red pill. These are like the extremist type. They'll use this knowledge from the red pill and they will use it to just boss a woman around the whole time and not allow her to be liberated in her femininity. Because there are a lot of guys, Axel, that they haven't liberated a woman from her insecurities, her fears of judgment, or her judging others, right? And one of the guy's primary responsibilities is to liberate a woman mentally, because guys have lied to her, they have used her for her body, and they haven't really been upfront and authentic to her. So if a man wants to have a woman be cooperative and be submissive, not only just in the bedroom, but on a non-intimate level as well, he needs to showcase to her that why should you be a man that I should submit to regardless?
Mm-hmm. I think that comes back to what is the level of this man and this woman. Right. And when you have disparity, that's when you have the problem. Right. And that probably will come from a guy trying to date outside of his league. So if you're a guy and you're going for a woman that is out of your league, something is not going to end up working properly. There's a reason why you're out of her league, bro. There's a reason why you feel like, if you feel that you're not at her level, it's not gonna go well. You're going to feel most of the time that you are so almost like lucky, and you're gonna have this imposter syndrome feeling about yourself that, oh my God, I cannot believe that I have her, but not in a good way. Like, for example, like with the person that I'm with right now, I feel so fortunate that I found such an amazing woman that I feel lucky to have her. But I don't feel like, oh, she's gonna find a guy that's better than me and like I shouldn't even have her. No, I don't feel like that at all. I feel 100% secure that she's not going anywhere because I'm the type of guy that she wants to be with. Now, if you are not strong enough or secure enough in your own abilities and your own level as a man, there's no way that if you date a girl that is above your pay grade, that you're gonna feel good. And then I think that will tend to these issues where you're talking about, where most of the time she's not going to want to follow you because she doesn't feel that you're someone that she looks up to. She doesn't feel that you are secure enough that you will walk away if things don't work. Like if you want to keep her at all costs because you feel like she's out of your league and you couldn't do any better, you can smell that, bro.
Oh yeah, women have been, like I said, like women have been dealing with all kinds of men since they were younger, and they're looking for a strong masculine figure. And if you're not that kind of guy that has a strong masculine presence and identity, there's no reason for her to follow you. There's no reason for her to meet up with you on a date. And that's where the manipulation thing comes in. Because she's looking at you like, oh, this guy's such a sucker. He keeps pursuing me and I'm getting like validation and attention. I don't even have to meet up with him. I'm just gonna have him keep chasing me through text messages. Mm-hmm. So who's really at fault here? Is it her fault or is it your fault as a man? I think it's really the guy's fault.
Yeah, I think I would take responsibility. And like in this case, the majority of people watching this are gonna be men. So I'm just going to speak directly to the men and say, you have to just level up. Like if you have any doubts or any feeling that this is happening to you, hey, the good news is you can change this, which is something that is really amazing. And I think I've discovered this in the last couple of years of my life. As men, we have such a good ability and opportunity to level up, bro. It's all related to your vision. What do you really want to be and who do you want to become as a man? And then your actions. Are you willing just to put in the work, go to the fucking gym, go level up at your job, your career, your business, go make more money, go make more friends, make more connections, and you can actually level up. With women, it's way harder because if, as a female, if you don't have the natural gift of beauty, there are things you can do to enhance yourself, but it's just way harder than if you are a guy. You know, a woman is born with her abilities and her beauty. A guy needs to go out and make his resources and make a name for himself. And I think that for guys that are trying to accomplish that, and if you're feeling like you're dating someone out of your league, it's a really tough place to be. But man, in 3 to 6 months, you could be a completely different guy. So what has been your experience? Because you work with a lot of guys that maybe lack confidence or lack communication. What have you seen in terms of like, you meet this guy and like 2 months later, he's a completely different dude because you help him tweak like a couple things?
So I would say that the biggest change, so your question is like, what's like the biggest, like how they've changed, or?
How have they changed, and what has been that trigger or that couple tips that once they start implementing that in their life, you see a huge increase in their self-worth?
Yeah, great question. I would say that the biggest thing that guys need nowadays, Axel, is the fact that they don't even realize how insecure that they are. Even a man who's high value, who makes 6 figures, has a great home, has a luxury car, is fit, even him can fall under these 3 main insecurities that are stopping guys from being even more high value mentally, right? Which is seeking validation, seeking approval, and people pleasing. Those 3 things are stopping guys from really harnessing the power of becoming that dynamic man that they want to be.
Yeah, and it's so sad when you see that happen. Cam, I have met guys that I've known for like a long periods of time that to me, they're like amazing guys. And then when you get deep and intimate and you start talking and like you get more details of how things are going in their love lives and all of that, it's like exactly what you were saying. They're insecure and they're trying to get validation from other girls, and they're trying to get the women to pay attention to them, and they just don't feel like that they are enough for those girls. And I'm like, bro, are you crazy? Dude, like you make this much money, you're super smart, you're handsome. Like women should be all over. It should be the other way around. Like there's something wrong here. And I love what you said of leveling up mentally, because I think that is the main place where all of this needs to happen first. And that is the place where you need to keep growing, because at the end of the day, whatever you have to offer in your mind will trigger your body to do something. Like your body is a reflection of your mind, and your work and your career and your resources is a reflection of your mind. So what do you think guys can do when they realize this? What can they do to move towards progress in this area?